Alright, let's look at the homework 10.2, problem number 5. Alright, so let's find the derivative and the second derivative. Alright, so let's find the derivative dx over dt, which is going to be derivative of e to the t is e to the t. Right? Right, then also derivative of y with respect to t would be, so I'll have to use the product rule, right? So here, right, two things multiplied together. So derivative of the first guy is 1 times the second guy, so e to the negative t, plus t times derivative of e to the negative t is negative e to the negative t. Alright, so we can factor out e to the negative t. You will get 1 minus t times e to the negative t. Alright, so if you want to find the dy over dx, this is going to be, right, dy over dt on top. So you have 1 minus t e to the negative t divided by e to the t. Right, so which will give us 1 minus t e to the negative 2t. Right, so that's the first derivative. Alright, let's find the second derivative. Alright, second derivative is going to be second derivative y with respect to x. Alright, so this is going to be, we take the derivative of this guy. So let's write, take the derivative of 1 minus t e to the negative 2t. First, we take the derivative with respect to t instead of x. Then you would have to divide it by dx over dt. Alright, so the derivative of this guy, again, we have to use the product rule. So this is the first guy. This is the second guy. Alright, so derivative of the first guy is negative 1 times e to the negative 2t. Plus first guy is 1 minus t, and then multiply by derivative of e to the negative 2t would be negative 2 e to the negative 2t. Right? Then we're going to divide it through by dx over dt, which we already found to be e to the t. Alright, so let's combine them together. So you have a negative 1 here. Oops. Right, so we have negative 1 here. Right, so this is going to be 1 and times negative 2, so it's a negative 2 there. Right, so you have a negative 3. So maybe I'm going to write it as negative 3 here. Right, then you have a negative 2 times negative t, so it's going to be positive 2. Right, so it's a positive 2t. Alright, and then you have a e to the negative 2t. Then we have to divide this guy by e to the t. So this is going to be 2t minus 3 e to the negative 3t. Alright, so let's type in those guys first. Alright, so we got 1 minus t e to the negative 2t. Alright, then second derivative is 2t minus 3 e to the negative 3t. Alright, so let's go ahead and check to see if we got the right derivatives. Submit for testing. Alright, I came back and looks like we got the first derivative and the second derivative correctly. Alright, so the next part is for which values of t is the curve concave upward. Alright, So we want to make sure that the second derivative is positive since we want to get a concave upward shape. So we can do that. All right. So second derivative, we came up with 2t minus 3 e to the negative 3t. We want this guy to be positive. Right? Since e to the negative 3t is a positive value, so I'm going to divide through by e to the 3t to get, so divided through by e to the negative 3t, sorry. Alright, then you will get the 2t minus 3 is still greater than 0. Right? Then we can just add 3 to both sides, so you have a 2t is greater than 3. Then we can divide it through by 2 to get that t is greater than 3 over 2. Right? So interval notation would be 3 over 2 to positive infinity. Right? So let's type that in. Right? So we got 3 over 2 to infinity, so symbol infinity. Alright, so submit for testing. Alright, it came back and looks like we got this one correctly. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear.